Thank you, Josh. I'm supposed to be with Alexandra today, but he couldn't make it. He's on a road trip, so he couldn't make it today. Our topic, as you said, it's empowering employees during performance review. And we saw from Flutra that it's important, empathy is very important at work. But it's not the only motivator, actually. So we came out with empowering. We need to make the employees part of the companies to feel like shareholders of the company. They are part, they're spending 8 or more hours in the company, which are the best hours of somebody's life. So we go home, we have just a couple of hours for ourselves, but the rest of the day is at work. So we need to make them empowered. And by definition, empowerment means providing employees with a certain degree of autonomy and control in their day-to-day activities. So in other words, it means giving them accountability and trusting the employees. Before we arrive at the evaluation, which is also part of the topic, we need to go through 5 main phases, which is empowerment. And during these 5 stages and 5 phases, we need to do the evaluation as well. So this is also what Alexandra at OSC is applying, but also us partly at our company are applying. So it's like something that everyone can apply in every sector. So the first phase is inclusion. First of all, the company needs to create an inclusive environment, you also mentioned earlier, in order for the employees to feel connected and belonging, as I said. So it starts by firstly welcoming the newcomers, the new employees, and by explaining the company's short-term and long-term goals and helping them to formulate their own goals. So we understand the companies have their objectives, big goals, but we need to divide that in smaller goals so each of the employees have an aim, what they're going to do tomorrow at the end of the week, until the end of the month or until the end of the year. So we need to break it down into these small goals. And this is done by the leader or the manager of the team. Then we have the second phase, which is training. The employees need to learn and to be trained while they are achieving their goals, as we said. So to do that, they need training development, and companies need to create a learning environment, which is very important. We see companies that just hire professionals and they think that's enough. They forget about the development of the employee. We can have like experts in every field, but sometimes we need to adjust them into our company's style of working. Therefore, proper trainings and development are going to make the employees feel more motivated and empowered, because sometimes they can feel anxiety and not secure at the workplace. They think they don't know, even though they are expert, when they go in a new environment, they think that they do not know much. So we started with inclusion, with the continuous training. The third phase is contribution. So after being trained, the employees would like to contribute and make a difference at the company. So they learn, they develop themselves, and it's a natural desire to apply what they have learned. It's natural for all of us. When we learn something, we want to apply. And us as leader, we need to provide this kind of environment for these employees to let them experiment in a way and show us what they can do with what they have learned or have been trained for. The fourth phase is freedom to propose. It's very crucial. We always say that, oh, we need to democratic leaders, we need to less fair leaders, all that. But actually, all of us, we need to leave some space to the employees and let them propose. Even though it's like an idea that we're never going to apply, we can at least listen to them. So we have to create an environment that encourages employees to propose new ideas and solutions. By doing so, they will get more innovative, creative ideas that maybe we never thought about them before. I see in our company as well, sometimes the newcomers, they're like students actually, but sometimes they come up with these ideas, innovative ideas that I never thought about that before. So during this time, we're still evaluating. Us as leaders, as head of the team, we're still evaluating. And the fifth phase, which is the last phase, is evaluation. We mentioned earlier, Erlan as well, and Flutra mentioned evaluation. Managers may have difficulties actually to figure out how to be fair, especially now, like some are working at home, some are working in the office. So it's going to be kind of hard, and maybe this is the future actually. Some people are still going to continue to work from home. So we need to reward the employees that are performing better without penalizing those that have been more leaned out, not because they wanted to be leaned out, but because of the circumstances they are in. So one way to do that is a 360-degree evaluation from themselves. So it's very important the employee to evaluate themselves, a self-assessment, because we can see that sometimes they see themselves much bigger than they actually are. So that's why we need evaluation from themselves, from the peers, supervisor, and supervisees. So far, what I've seen from other colleagues as well, the performance evaluations seems to be mainly focused on the individual compensation, rewarding. So at the end of, if you achieve this goal, you're going to be rewarded this amount of money or this bonus, etc. Or by disciplining, like taking actions if somebody doesn't achieve these goals. It's time for us now as leaders to use these assessment results to assist each employee to understand their strengths and weaknesses and to contribute to professional development in order to empower them. So by seeing where their weaknesses are through this evaluation form, okay, we can still continue rewarding and doing whatever we're supposed to do, but also see it in another point of view, like how can we make them better and how can I work on empowering my employees by delegating and going through all the phases that I mentioned earlier. And this is, of course, done by a managerial art. People need training. Us as leaders need to grow every day. New trends are coming, like even empowerment. We never discussed many years ago about empowerment. So it's something new, I guess, how to empower. And maybe it was another word, but not empowering the employees. So we need to give positive feedback at all the 5 phases, supporting the employees and empowering them.